Now we come to the sixth and final faction of Godslayer. This is the Wyldfolk. Wyldfolk are perhaps the most challenging of all factions to play. They are also the shootiest of all the factions and are experts in guerrilla warfare as well as possessing some regular melee fighters. They have three subfactions: Tribal, Fëanor, and Tuathan. The tribal subfaction is what we could call the regular Wyldfolk who live close with nature. They have excellent light infantry who can move through difficult terrain. These are the blade slingers who are armed with spears, and they also have a sling on the end of their spear, so they are able to perform as melee troops or as missile troops. The tribal subfaction also has the Cromlech Guard, who are warriors serving the druids. These guys can hit multiple enemies with a single attack and are well armored, so they're really elite melee troops. Supporting the tribals is the druid, who has 3 spell sets to choose from, and the bard, who has some talents that can boost units' morale and encourage them to perform better and make longer charges, etc. The megalith is a magical stone with numerous functions. For example, it can store action tokens and provides magical protection to nearby models, and spells can be channeled through it. So tribal subfaction is really a bit variable and can be played in many different ways, but is primarily offensive and light. Leading them is the Pendragon, who's an all-rounder warlord able to hide units with his ambush ability. He can buff units and shoot with a choice of magical bows, and he's also not bad in melee. The second subfaction of the Wyldfolk is the Fëanor. Now these guys are the 100% shooty subfaction. From the Skapta hunters, who are elite scouts armed with longbows, to the ogre beast hunters armed with giant storm bows, to the Fëanor Farfarer warlord who can pick from a selection of magical bows. Tuathan are so far the best missile subfaction in the game, and clearly the choice for players who love shooty strategies. They can also be supported by blade slingers from the tribal subfaction, and in this way you can make a large shooty warband, or you could take strictly just Fëanor models and make a more elite, small, shooty warband. The third and final subfaction of the Wyldfolk are the Tuathan. They are perhaps the most exotic of the subfactions, and these guys are dedicated to the force of nature and exemplify the circle of life, including the aspect of death and decay. The models in Wave 1 of the Tuathan subfaction are warriors of nature's death aspect. They include the Wicca warriors, who can take the souls of their slayers with them into the afterlife as they die, and the Banshee with her magical abilities, and the Lord of Decay, who is the warlord of the Tuathan. This somber anti-hero has plenty of tactics and abilities based on decay to decimate the enemies around him. So armed with a magical scythe, he is the enemy of undeath and the guardian of nature. This subfaction is rather fighty, but has a number of unique tactics and auras and synergies which make them very interesting to use. Overall, the Wyldfolk work well together and have perhaps the most complex strategies. They're challenging to play, but once you've mastered the many different possibilities, they're incredibly satisfying and versatile. So, that's it for the subfaction overview, and we'll be posting more information in the near future. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.